followed just a random sign that kind of said Power Dam Falls, and that's how I found like this really big, kind of a cool looking waterfall, and there's like this lake behind it. I was doing some research trying to figure out what exactly it is, and it's a hydroelectric plant that was damaged by a flood in like 1999, they said, and they just never fixed it. So I'm at a hydroelectric plant that was never fixed. It broke and they just walked away from it, which is pretty crazy. But I find it actually really nice. This is the lake behind the dam, and look at how clear that water is. It's beautiful. There's a tiny little school of fish right there. If you watched last week's video, you know that I didn't catch any fish, and I'm here, and there's no signs that say that I can't fish this little lake. So I'm gonna try to catch a fish really quick. So I really wasn't planning on fishing today, like, at all, but I also wasn't planning on finding like this little lake. So, you know, I keep the fishing stuff with me just in case, I guess. But yeah, today I'm actually heading to a different ghost town that I've never been to, and that's really like the main adventure for today, is checking that out. But I followed the sign and I found this place, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I love the water, it's so clear. So I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can't pull something up to get revenge for the other day, you know what I mean? So far I do see some fish in here, tiny little things. This water is super clear. It's nice. It's like swimmable. But tiny little fish. I haven't seen anything big, but hopefully I can catch something. And then the water's so clear. Actually, watch, check this out. The water's so clear you can see that somebody lost their pants. That's a pair of pants underneath the water right there. So I drew in a boatload of those tiny little fish with my bait. But I haven't seen anything big yet. But look at them. They're all nibbling at my bait, those little guys, trying to take it. So I'm seriously bringing in like schools of those little fish with every cast. But I want to put some pants on. I don't have my pants on. I'm in a pair of shorts and I feel a bunch of things crawling on my legs. It's bugging me. I'm gonna change into some pants really quick. I just left my line out in the water, so hopefully nothing takes my rod. So at first I couldn't understand why nobody was here, but it's kind of hot and there's no shade. However, right across the lake from me is a couple of cool horses. So, and they are really pretty colored. I like those guys a lot. I don't know if this guy's alive, but I love how clear this water is. You can see this giant crawfish down there. He's actually pretty big. He's like a mini lobster. I definitely feel like I need to get a pair of waders so I can get out there. I just saw a really good sized guy just kind of swim by and tease me, but I didn't come out here to fish. I just ended up fishing. So I'm gonna move on to my next activities that I have planned, if you will. I was like disappointed. I think it's been since my Carlsbad video that I even caught a fish. And then of course I caught that fish on like my third cast. And I just saw this big guy just swimming by. He swam right by my bait though, wasn't even interested in it. So yeah, I think it's been since then that I've even caught a fish. This is a different lake that I'm trying, but this one you get to actually walk out onto this dock, which is kind of cool. Looks like you can swim in here, but it's kind of like the water at the other place was way cleaner. This is very algae-y, but this is a deeper lake for sure, so giving it a shot. I love how I was like, this is not a fishing video. Then I proceeded to stop at the very next lake that I saw to fish. Stubborn. I'm being stubborn right now because I'm mad. I wanted to stop and capture this storm on video just because I think it's really cool how you can see the wall of rain right there kind of dividing the sky. So my nephew asked me what was up with me and cemeteries, and I genuinely just like stopping at them, especially the older cemeteries. Like, where else are you going to see things like these wooden crosses and graves outlined in stones that you see here? I just find it really interesting to see what people were doing in the late 1800s and early 1900s. It's like a piece of history. Plus, you see some really like ornate headstones that were obviously hand carved. So I think the craftsmanship is actually really cool. And then you see wild things like giant metal crosses as well. So yeah, I just find them interesting and I like to see them and pay my respects to the people there. Plus, as somebody who has like a genuine interest in the paranormal, you never know. You stop at like a really old cemetery in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's no better setting to potentially capture something on film or whatever. So, that's why I always stop at them. Is this the owl from the Tootsie Pop commercials? How many licks does it take and then he bites the whole thing after 3? I do think that's the owl from the commercials. But anyway, this is where I've been trying to get to. This is called Cuervo, New Mexico. There he is again. Apparently this town was actually pretty successful in the 50s and 60s before they built I40. So my dates might be wrong on that. I might be a little late there. But before they built I40, this was actually a pretty successful town. You can see I40 is actually just right there. However, people used to stop here when it was part of Route 66. Now you can see that most of the buildings are probably going to look like this, because after they, although this one, it actually almost seems like somebody's working on this one. So maybe they are going to try to bring this back. This maybe was a schoolhouse or something at some point. But it's completely open, so there are materials here. The sign on this building says, I think, District Number 6. Check this out. There's an old like movies sign in here. Like maybe you could rent movies here before. This one says books, and I think the one behind it says music. So maybe this used to be like a little general store or something for the town. Here's an old bridge. Actually, the road used to come through here. You can see go up there. But yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to try to drive a car across that thing now. So there are several really, really dilapidated buildings like this around as well that have just completely crumbled. And it is just so crazy to see a road that's as busy as I-40 bypassing a ghost town like this. This looks like the remnants of an old wood stove, maybe. And then that, you can't really tell, but I actually think that that's a well, probably for the house. I did put my boots on to walk through this stuff because I wouldn't be surprised if there's some real nasty, creepy crawlies in there. One of my favorite things to take even just still pictures of is these old cars. I mean, this one obviously has been run through and picked clean, but you know, it's been sitting here forever. It is weird to think that families were just living here and doing well until they built the interstate. Because all the research that I've seen on this place is the interstate is what did it. Oh my goodness, there's a whole attic up there. I'm not going up there because I don't trust the roof, but yeah, and then the interstate came through and kind of just ended up shutting the town down. Hi there. This is a good sized kitchen. I've been watching this show where these guys renovate a bunch of houses in Detroit, and I kid you not, they buy houses that look like this and fix them up. This one's cool. You can still see some of the linoleum. It was like a floral print linoleum on the floor in here. Not too much left of this house though. They had like this little one kind of next door to it. Look at this old truck. Poor thing. Let's see what's in this one. Not a whole lot, actually, and the floor is real bad. This almost looks like it was like a train car that was added onto, maybe. Like that back part of the house was maybe added onto a train car. Some eyes there, maybe. You guys can hear I40, all the traffic behind me. What I'm on now must have been like Main Street, I guess, here at whatever point. Definitely not a lot left of a lot of these buildings, but this is one of the ghost towns that I've been to that has the most intact buildings. There's another one, you can still see the design and the linoleum floor. What's up, Oaksterdam, California? That says feel good. Could you imagine, like, you're just sitting here, this is your front porch, maybe this is your store, and you watch them build I40 and you have no idea that that street right there is going to completely kill your town and turn it into this. This is the one building in town with a no trespassing sign, and it's the church. I understand why they're trying to preserve that. The little plaque, I'm not sure if I can get close enough to read it, but it says that it was built by Max Salas in April of 1915. Says, where's Luis? And then this says, at Poetry by Boots. People are always changing, and it's the curse of love that we need to change with them or get left behind. There's not much left of it, but good old TV there. An Olympic. So I actually believe that this looks like it may have been a salon or a barber shop. I think that this is like a hair drying thing, and these are totally barber shop and salon seats that are in here. Love life. This person got a B+ on their report. Bond Street, James Bond Street. There's a skeleton on this door. I don't know why all this straw's in here. It says Hormel Holiday Glaze. I'm guessing that's a ham in a tin can. This building's a little rough. I don't know if I want to go inside that one, but that looks like an old washing machine. You can see I crossed under a bridge to the other side of Cuervo. This was called Bell Gas. So this is really the last property left to explore, and it looks like this was some sort of Baptist church as well. There was a church across the street, and then there was a church here on this side as well. This one doesn't have all of the no trespassing signs, so you can see people have desecrated it. It says welcome to the Church of Fornication. Real classy. chair and a bed in this room. Not really a whole lot in this room, although there is still a rug. I don't see a whole lot of that. Looks like people have been punching out the drywall. Maybe some, these are weird chairs, but maybe they are pews, but they're just a little bit weird. And then just an empty room on this side. Bird scared me. Oh my God. And this looks like it goes up back behind the stage. I'll get on the stage. I don't know about back behind it. Just goes to a little hole. Anyway. The ceiling's actually in pretty decent shape, aside from all the drywall falling off. This building would actually probably be salvageable. Don't ever cross a railroad like that. That's extremely dangerous, what I just did. Don't do it. So there you guys have it. That is the town that I40 killed. There's maybe like 2 or 3 families, it looks like, that still live there. There's like a wrecker service that looked like it was still operational, although it kind of looks like the guy is just collecting vehicles at this point. So there are a couple people that still live there. I don't know exactly what they do, because there's no business in the town itself. You guys could see that it was pretty much completely done. And apparently it was super successful when this was Route 66, but once I40 went through, kind of split the town in two, and people stopped stopping there. So anyway, I'm on my way to where I'm actually going to be staying tonight. I was originally going to stay in the town, but when I was fishing earlier, I kind of caught the fishing bug, so I'm heading back to a place where I can fish, because I'm going to catch one. It's going to happen. It may not be in this video. Hopefully it is. But if it's not in this video, it'll be in next week's video. I'm gonna catch a fish soon. It's gonna happen. So yeah, anyway, I'll head back over there, and then I'm getting hungry too, so it's getting late in the day. Pretty hungry, so I'm excited to stop and eat some dinner. I stopped to take this picture, and I just thought it was a cool shot as well, so I figured I'd include it. Your Master Charge and your Bank AmeriCard are welcome here. This place has some really cool signs and old stuff in it. And the lights are still on. Just got a broken window right there. Really quickly, I wanted to check out what this trail has to offer. This is pretty cool. There's a nice little paved trail over here too, which is nice. It's like a nice, easy walk. All right, let's see if I can get this lake to produce fish for me. So I'm not very good at putting it out there and just letting it sit. I cast and reel, cast and reel, cast and reel. So this is for everybody who's like mad about that, Josue. So I'm just gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna enjoy this. And when I'm done drinking this, I'm gonna switch from power bait to a lure and see if that works instead. Last week, I think the river really was pretty low on fish, but today it's all been me. I've seen fish in this lake. I saw fish in the river I was fishing earlier. The other lake, the real clear lake I was fishing earlier, I saw fish in there. So I'm just not being patient enough, I think. So we're keeping it super simple tonight. I'm talking about a can of soup. I'm gonna cook it up on this little thing. Enjoy my time right here. Where I'm at right now, I can't actually spend the night, but I can hang out until, later. So I'm gonna have to figure out exactly where I'm gonna be sleeping, which will be an issue that I'll address after dinner. So I'm pretty hungry right now. You guys know I'm disappointed because I haven't caught anything. So I am gonna cook up some soup and eat that up, and enjoy this spot that I'm at. The skies are nice. It's not hot tonight. I'm going to sleep probably pretty good tonight because it's not so hot, which is good. I think I have this thing turned on way too high. Oh my God. Well, I'll figure that out off camera so it's not so embarrassing and I'm burning myself. Now that I got that under control, I can have a dinner one with you guys. I had one fishing with you, but I might as well have one for dinner. I always bring several of these when I come on my trips. So yeah, what did you guys think of that town earlier? It's pretty crazy because what I was reading was, you know, Route 66 used to go right through it, and it had, you know, that was its main street. And driving around, as much traveling as I've done on Route 66 through my state specifically, I've noticed that I40 killed a lot of towns. It killed a lot of businesses. You know, so I wasn't alive at that time, but I'm sure it was a blessing and a curse to have I40 running through there, because you were able to travel so much faster, but so many small people, so many mom and pop stores, so many small towns just went under. So, you know, it's kind of I guess it might have been like what's the phrase that I'm looking for? Like a tale of the time or something like that, where that was a big transition from maybe a slower life to a faster pace of life. At least from what I've observed in my travels and stuff like that. It's been pretty crazy seeing all of these ghost towns that I40 has killed, or, you know, just little places that are dead now because of it. I also found it weird that I40, you know, is right there, and there's so much traffic going on I40 right there, and it just couldn't survive. I guess people just didn't get off the exit to actually stop there. Santa Rosa is actually kind of a cool little place. It's a pretty small town. It's another one where it was probably doing better with Route 66. There's some dead businesses on the main street, but if you like to do outdoors kind of stuff, this is a really, really cool place. It seems like a cool little town. I don't know if I showed you guys on the can, but this is chicken and dumpling soup, and it's actually pretty good. So when I drove back to Santa Rosa Lake, I knew the trade-off was going to be, I don't exactly know where I'm going to sleep. I could sleep there, but it's a fee area to stay overnight. This park that I'm at right now, you can't stay overnight. So I'm going to go look for a spot to sleep. You know, I came back to try to catch a fish, and I didn't catch a dang fish. So otherwise I would have just stayed in the ghost town. So, well, I guess I'll figure it out. You guys are coming along with me whether you like it or not. So I found basically just a dark spot off of a random exit to crash out for the night. So I'm actually really tired. It was a big day. It was fun though. I had a lot of fun today. So that's what this is all about. That's really what I get at when I come out here and I make these videos, is I'm trying to have fun, and then hopefully you guys have fun watching it too, you know what I mean? But getting my boots off, and I am going to just end up hitting the hay, so I'll see you guys in the morning. So it's too dark to show you guys last night, but this is where I slept, right next to that dumpster. And the on-ramp's just right there. That wasn't too far off the freeway. Morning, guys. Thought I had enough gas to make it home, but not quite. So luckily gas hasn't been as bad lately. So I'm all done. I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day. I know. You hear the dog talking to you. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day basically carbo loading. My race is in 71 days, so running a marathon then. So I'm just gonna be eating the rest of the day. Glad that I got this trip in, and it was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week.